Hi everyone, and welcome to our virtual cooking class. I'm Festival Foods Mealtime Mentor and Registered Dietitian Casey, and I'm so excited to be joining you in your kitchen today from the Festival Foods Test Kitchen. Thank you so much for joining us. Today we're working with Post to make a quick and hearty breakfast, so I hope you're all ready to get cooking. If you do have questions as we go along, you can reach out to us at askfestivaldietitians.com. All right, so let's get started. Today we're making Grape-Nuts hot bowls, which I think is kind of a fun spin on Grape-Nuts. I'm personally a huge fan of Grape-Nuts. I always have been, but I've really only had them as kind of a cold cereal until we tried these. So this is a really fun way to make our Grape-Nuts kind of more of a hot cereal, sort of similar to oatmeal, but we're gonna do them 3 ways. So we've got 3 different combinations of toppings to go along with them. So let's get started. I'm going to prepare our first bowl. Like I said, we're gonna do 3 of them, and it's super simple. So we're just gonna start with a half a cup of grape nuts. And then we're just gonna add a 1/3 of a cup of milk. I'm using milk today. You could just use water if you prefer. Or you could use, I'm just using cow's milk. If you prefer a different type of milk alternative, that works as well. But a 1/3 of a cup is a good amount to add to those grape nuts. And that's it. So I'm just going to add these, put these in the microwave really quick. You can cook them for anywhere between 30 seconds and a minute. 30 seconds is gonna give you a little bit of a crunchier grape nut. And I'm just gonna do 30 seconds because as it sits too, it really soaks up a lot of that liquid in there. So, and they'll be sitting for a little bit while we get everything else prepared. So we'll let that go. While that's going, I'm gonna go over here and start cooking an egg, which is gonna go on the first of our hot bowls, which is going to be, I'm using a really big pan today for just 1 egg. But the first bowl that we're gonna do is gonna be a bacon, egg, and kale. So I should have mentioned this earlier in the class. But if you are going to be cooking the bacon, egg, and kale bowl, if you have not already cooked your bacon, go ahead and get that started as well. I have already cooked mine in the oven, so that's already done. But if you haven't, no worries, you've definitely got time to catch up with those. So I'm just going to let my egg cook here. We'll see how long I can keep this egg yolk intact. When I was growing up, my dad always used to, when he was making eggs for like sandwiches, he would always pop the yolk because he didn't like to bite into that yolk, but I'll see how long we can keep that there. Okay, so I've got my first bowl done back here. So as you can see, it comes out, definitely soaks up a good amount of that liquid, and there's still a little bit kind of not absorbed quite yet, but like I said, as it sits, it'll definitely soak up more of that. All right, so we'll scoot that over here while we wait. I'll go ahead and start with our second bowl then too, as our egg cooks here. So like I said, I've really always been a fan of grape nuts. They're so hearty, you really only can eat a little bit of them. Because they also have a ton of fiber. Half a cup is a serving, and that amount contains 7 grams of fiber, which is awesome, especially I like getting that fiber in the morning. It helps to keep me full throughout the day. All right, so then I'm gonna add my milk. Go ahead and get this in the microwave. For 30 seconds. And then I'm gonna go ahead and get started with slicing some of the fruit that's gonna go on our other 2 bowls. So the first thing I'm going to do is slice just a half a banana, and this is gonna go on a peanut butter, banana, and chocolate bowl, which is super delicious. I think that combination works with just about anything. So like I said, I'm just gonna do about a half and just slice it up. All right, set that aside for later. Go get our second bowl here. And then I'll go ahead and prepare our third bowl. Get that going. Actually, I should probably check on our egg here. Oop, yep, it's looking ready to flip. All right, this is not going to be pretty, but it'll be functional. There we go. So I couldn't keep the yolk intact, but I think it'll still taste okay. All right, so our third and final bowl. So I think something really fun about grape nuts is the name Grape-Nuts. It's kind of funny because they don't contain grapes or nuts. So I did a little research on where the name actually came from, and there's kind of two theories out there that Post shares. One of them is that Mr. Post once believed that glucose, which he called grape sugar, and it's really just a form of sugar, he called it grape sugar, and he believed that that formed during the baking process. So basically that combined with kind of the nutty flavor of the cereal is said to have inspired the name Grape-Nuts. And the other theory is that it just got its name from its resemblance to grape seeds or nuts. So you can decide which one you want to go with there, but those are our options for where that name came from. All right, so the last thing I need to do then to prepare our ingredients is just to slice some strawberries. So the strawberries are going to go on our very berry bowl. So we'll get a variety of berries with that one, of course. I'll start with a few strawberries. These bowls are all super customizable too. I'll kind of go through some of the variations as we top them, but if there's something that I'm preparing now that you don't like or you think of something else to use, obviously that is a-okay. All right, got our strawberries. I'm gonna check on my egg here. All right, just let that cook for a little bit more on that side. And I've got our third bowl here. So now we just have to assemble. I told you it was gonna be quick and easy. All right, so let me check on this egg. All right, this looks great. So for our first bowl, like I mentioned, it's a bacon, egg, and kale. So I'm gonna go ahead and add my egg. I'm gonna add that bacon that I cooked earlier, about a slice worth, but you measure that with your heart. And I mentioned I baked it. I just baked the bacon at 400 for about 20 minutes. I like my bacon pretty crispy, so you could do a little bit shorter than that, but that's how I made that today. So I've got bacon, egg, and then I'm gonna add just this kale mix that I've got. You could do spinach if you prefer, just to add kind of some greens in there. And that's all that we have for our bowl today. You could definitely add like cherry tomatoes would be really good with this one, diced onion, whatever you prefer. Oh, I forgot the most important ingredient, which I don't have with me today, but when you do make this, we have a Festival Everything Bagel seasoning. It's so good, and it goes super well with like the egg flavor. I think that seasoning goes well in just about anything, so definitely add that if you are looking for making that. Our next bowl then is going to be our very berry bowl. So I'm gonna go ahead and add those strawberries that I sliced. And then all the other berries that you can think of. So I've got some blackberries. I should have mentioned, I've gone through and rinsed all of these. Got some blackberries, we've got some raspberries. I think raspberries are my favorite. And then we've got blueberries. I really like that, we've got some sweet options and we've got a savory option. Grape nuts are really versatile that way, where you can kind of go whichever direction you prefer for this. So this is our very berry. Like I mentioned, you could add really whatever you want to this one. You could add like sliced kiwi, you could add apples, you could add some banana if you want. However you like to enjoy the cereal with your berries works for this. And then our final bowl is our peanut butter, banana, and chocolate. So I will add those banana slices I prepped up earlier. I'm gonna add just a scoop of peanut butter. I got natural just because I like that it's a little more drizzly. Whatever peanut butter or really nut butter that you prefer works here. I'm also, fun fact, a crunchy peanut butter fan, but of course if you prefer creamy, that works too. And then I'm just gonna go ahead and add some mini chocolate chips over top. So there we have it. 3 different ways to enjoy Grape-Nuts, which are, like I said, one of my favorite cereals, but a really hearty breakfast and a great way to start your day. So that's all that we have today. So thank you so much for joining our class. We hope you had fun and learned a few things along the way. To view other classes and get all the materials that you'll need for them, visit festfoods.com/classes, and also be sure to follow Fest Foods on Facebook and Instagram to be the first to hear about our upcoming virtual cooking classes. And you can also find more recipes from the Mealtime Mentors at festfoods.com/meals. Thanks, we'll see you next time.